I'm Alison Watt. I've lived on Protection Island near Nanaimo for almost 30 years. I feel really lucky to have been able to live on the edge of the Salish Sea for so long. We raised our children here, and we've seen some changes from this shore, perhaps fewer wintering birds than we saw when we first arrived. But we've also seen more whales in recent years. We've seen humpbacks. My husband and I saw a sperm whale a couple of years ago off the shore of Gabriola Island, which we look out to. And we've seen more transient killer whales who come into these waters to hunt, mainly seals, but also sea lions. We have also, though, seen a great increase in marine traffic, particularly in freighter traffic. My commute in the morning is from my back door to my garden studio. This is where I paint, and I have taught for many years. But with COVID, I developed an online teaching practice, and so now part of my studio is occupied with a camera and lights and a microphone. My studio painting is, I would say, more abstract than the work that I first started out with in those first shows. I still am inspired mainly by natural subjects, but I like to work in, I guess you'd say, acrylic mixed media, using a lot of different tools and techniques like collage. I like to build up many, many layers. I think acrylic is really wonderful for building up layers quickly because it dries very quickly and it combines with a lot of other media well. Sometimes I create simple prints out of foam packing trays and just apply the print to the surface. And I use a lot of glazing, so very thin layers of paint pulled over the underlying surfaces to create the sense of depth and the feeling of layers and movement that you get in a tide pool. Also in my studio on the top shelf of my bookshelf are the journals that I've kept for years. I started keeping journals as a young naturalist, and I still keep them when I travel, when I work in the field as a naturalist. They're sketches and watercolor paintings of all of the things that I observe, a lot of plant studies, quick sketches of landscapes. I've worked for a week as a volunteer warden every summer for about 30 years on Middle Natch Island in the northern Salish Sea. It's one of my favorite places in the world, and I never get tired of drawing and painting there. My husband and I sail the Salish Sea every summer, and I really love having the opportunity to stop every day and sketch. From Cabbage and Tumbo to Saturna, from Galliano to Salt Spring, from Denman to Hornby, every island in the Salish Sea is a jewel. The group of artists that inspired this show inspired me to show my work for the first time 40 years ago. We've gone on in our own directions in the years since to create our own kind of work, but I think we're still all united in our fascination for and our love of the natural world.